What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you are new, welcome back to the channel. If you are coming back for a second visit, glad you're here. You look great today. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going back to the Nintendo Switch eShop. I'm giving you 10 hidden gems you should be picking up today, and some of them are on a big discount right now with the eShop sale.
You know, I typically avoid stuff like the Sega Ages games on these eShop hidden gems just because these are games that everyone knows about, but I actually didn't realize that Outrun had been ported over to the Switch, and I want to thank user Fandabidozi3191. I think I got your name right. I'm sorry if I butchered that. But he suggested this game last month, and he said I should check this one out because it's the best arcade port of Outrun on any system. And I'll be damned if this isn't a ton of fun. This game runs so smoothly, and you would hope it would, being on brand new hardware like the Switch. Well, brand new, gigantic air quotes on that. Being on hardware like the Switch, you would hope it would run well, but this is a really true-to-form arcade experience. The game is super fun, plays brilliantly well, and it looks great. I love arcade racers like Outrun. I like the option of being able to choose my path as I'm playing and determining where I want to go. Something as simple as being able to choose the music, too, is just such a nice feeling. It's a great game. It's a wonderful port, just like he said, and it's something that I'm really enjoying trying out. And it's kind of opened my eyes to realize that there's a ton of classic games on the Switch that sometimes get overlooked in favor of new things, and we shouldn't be doing that. The Sega Ages version of Outrun is normally $7.99, but right now through June 26th, 2023, it's on sale for $1.99. Now, I've done a full review of B.Ark on the channel in the past, so this will be a bit more, I guess, prorated as far as talking about it, but I really enjoy including shooters on my eShop lists because it's just a fantastic place to find a great shooter, and B.Ark is one of my favorites from the last couple of years. Now, this is 100% a Q-em-up, but don't let the appearance fool you. The game is incredibly difficult. It does not pull its punches. It has some incredibly creative gameplay elements to it, a wonderful design, and brilliant music. It is a fantastic title and something I've had a lot of fun with in the past. If you want to see the full review, I've got it linked in the card on screen right now. And yeah, as much as I love this title, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew this game is on sale right now, and it's on a deep discount. It's normally $9.99, but through June 26th, 2023, you can get it for $1.99. Alright, I've been sitting on an Unmetal review for a few months now. It's something where I was immediately drawn to the game just because of the overall ridiculousness of what it is. So it really leans heavily into lampooning Metal Gear Solid, which I'm a big fan of. I love Metal Gear Solid, but I also like that they weren't afraid to poke fun at it, because this game is absolutely ridiculous. You play as Jesse Fox. You were imprisoned for a crime. You know what? I'm just going to let him tell you.
In 1972, a crack commando unit threw me in a prison for a crime I didn't commit.
You're under arrest for a crime you didn't commit!
Yeah, he was in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And you have to break out of prison. And you have to use your ability to MacGyver objects together to create elaborate distractions to be able to just knock dudes out and get through things. It's a truly enjoyable game. It's a ridiculous concept, and it does not take itself seriously whatsoever, and it has its tongue firmly planted in its cheek. I love Unmetal. It is a creative title, and it's really accessible. It has a bunch of different difficulty levels, so if you want to go into it and go hardcore, you can do that. But if you're looking for just a more casual experience and you just want to enjoy the humor and the story, you can do that as well. Unmetal is a $19.99 title, and if you're looking for, I don't want to call it a stealth game because it kind of ignores the stealth aspect of things. But if you're looking for something that is, let's say, inspired by Metal Gear Solid, this is the game for you. As a self-professed board game fan and someone who loves playing board games, I always kind of chase that experience in a video game. Now, while some people might look at that as a little bit weird, there is something to be said about digital versions of tabletop games. But there's a lot of them that don't quite meet the mark. But when something is original and something tries something new and tries something unique or continues a series like this does, Dark Quest III, I'm intrigued. I applied for a review code on this one just based on the premise, the idea of this being a digital version of a board game that doesn't exist. And what it captured in the experience I've had playing it has been truly memorable. You start off with a set number of characters that you're able to choose from, but the further into the game you progress and the more levels you beat, you're going to unlock new characters to be able to add to your party. As you play through, you're going to have a random deck of cards that you're going to draw from that are going to be your actions, and you're going to be rolling dice and using items that you collect in order to defeat enemies, trigger traps, avoid encounters, or purchase different things in the game. It feels to me a lot like something like Hero Quest, where it leans heavily into core mechanics from board games that we're all familiar with from our time playing them, and it delivers in a digital way that I didn't anticipate or expect to enjoy nearly as much as I do. Now, when you look at the gameplay, you might look at it and go, it's a very static screen, there's not a lot of stuff happening, and that's true on the card drawing screen, but things change when you get into combat. Combat is incredibly strategic, and you have to place your characters and move them around well, and it's something that adds a little bit of variety to it. It's a game that you play for the experience, and the experience is excellent. This game is normally $18.99, but through June 18th, it's going to be on sale for $9.49. It's 50% off right now. It's a new release, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. I was recently contacted by a marketing manager from TikTok Games regarding a couple of games that they've covered, and I mentioned one earlier which was called B.Ark, but he also brought up a game called Adventures of Pip, and he offered me a review code for it, and if I liked it, I would be able to mention it in this video. And I'm telling you right now, this is a significantly creative game. You start off as a square, as a single pixel, and as you play and as you evolve and you collect more power, you're actually going to grow into being a 16-bit character. It's just super creative, and it's not something that I anticipated or expected whatsoever. Every level is a fun platforming adventure where you're going to need to evolve and devolve your character to be able to move through it. So it's something where you need to be thinking ahead and thinking of different ways that you're going to be moving through the title. I'm really enjoying it, and I truly think this is one of the more unique games I've played in a long time, because where stuff like Evil World you just keep moving forward, with this game, with Adventures of Pip, you're encouraged to move your character backwards to be able to do different abilities and advance through different parts of the levels. I'm truly enjoying my time with it. It's a really fun platformer. It's got brilliant gameplay, and I think it's something that's just incredibly creative and executes so incredibly well. This game is normally $9.99, but like a lot of games on the list today, it's currently on sale. The sale's going to run through June 26th, 2023, and you can get it for $1.99. Big thank you to the publisher for a review code for this game. If you have a group of people you regularly play with and you enjoy chaotic multiplayer games kind of like Overcooked, you need to add Speed Crew from Wild Fields to your wish list, because holy crap, this game is ridiculous. Like right off the bat, I discovered you can totally get hit by a car. You can just get hit by a car. As you're moving around and trying to get your tools organized, you can totally get run over, which made me realize how ridiculous this game was going to be, because I just ragdolled all over the screen. The thing about it, though, is that it's a really strategic game, much like Overcooked is. You have different things that are going to need to be repaired on a car every time it comes into the pits. You have different tools that are going to allow you to repair the different objects. And the more people you have play, the more chaotic, but the more strategic things get. So you can have someone just focus on one or two tools, and just have someone else focus on other things like recycling the tires or bringing new stuff over to you. It's a brilliant game. It's super fun. It's got a great look to it. Music is fantastic. The voice acting is really good. And the gameplay is supreme. You can play this 1 to 4 player online or couch co-op. And honestly, it's one of my favorite experiences that I've had in a long time. Speed Crew is $19.99. And if you love multiplayer games, it's worth every penny. So when Cassette Beasts hit on Xbox Game Pass a couple of weeks ago, my son immediately jumped on it. Victor immediately hopped onto it and absolutely loved the title and told me repeatedly that I needed to play it. So when an opportunity came up to request a review code for it, I did so right away. I wanted to experience a game that he was excited about, thinking this might be something a little bit more Minecraft related, where it was going to be something where I was excited that he was excited and not necessarily enjoy it myself. But what I've discovered with Cassette Beasts is this is a very stylized and very distinct version of an RPG that I've never played anything like this before. Now, I will tell you straight up, with this game, there are some performance issues on the Switch. I've had some stuttering, I've had some issues encountered with just things that you would expect to be a little bit more smooth as you're playing, but nothing that took me completely out of the title. The gameplay itself is really fun. You're able to turn to these different monsters, and the monsters are all portrayed by different cassettes that you pop into your portable Walkman, for lack of a better term. You listen to the music and you're able to turn into this character. And each of these characters have different abilities, and in that regard, it leans a little bit into just kind of standard RPG fare, but the storyline and the different interactions that you have with the different characters and kind of getting the backstory of what's going on with this world is fascinating. I really, really enjoy this one. Now, like I said, buyer beware on the performance issues. If that's something that you're not going to want to experience or not deal with, then by all means don't pick this one up right now for the Switch. But if performance issues aren't something that's going to turn you off and you can deal with a couple of stutters here and there, Cassette Beasts is absolutely worth picking up at $19.99. I adore the SteamWorld games. Every single SteamWorld game I've played, I love. But this one here, SteamWorld Heist Ultimate Edition on the Switch, is my favorite. I've now played this on 3 different consoles. I played it originally on the 3DS, I've played it on the Wii U, and now I have it on the Switch. Oh no, I've got it on 4. I have it on Steam as well. This is a strategy heist game where you're going to be moving your characters around different ships that you infiltrate to hide them behind cover, use your different weapons and abilities to take out the enemies that you encounter, steal the loot, get back to your ship, and move the story along. There are memorable characters aplenty in this game as you go. Everything in SteamWorld is kind of set in this faux Western universe, and that carries forward here. It feels a little bit like Firefly, I'm not going to lie to you. And all the characters are great. All the different characters that you play as have different abilities, have different appearances, different personalities, and all of them are really fun. I love this title. It gives you about 20 hours of gameplay, and then it tosses in New Game Plus on top of that, which is what I'm playing here. And I just have a blast with it. If you enjoy strategic heist games, where it's going to be something where you need to think a few steps ahead and plan out your moves and plan out your attacks and make sure that you have the right loadout for each character as you go into game, this is something you need to check out. This is a $19.99 game, and as someone who has played through it multiple times, I can tell you that you get your money's worth on it because it is an absolute blast to play. When I think of games that really fall into the category of what might have been, Indivisible from 505 Games is near the top of that list. So when I first saw it a few years ago, I was absolutely intrigued by the design of it. Beautiful animations and hand-drawn character art really drew me in. The voice acting in the game is absolutely lovely, and there's so much to it that I thoroughly enjoy it. The story is compelling. The decision to make it an action platformer with RPG elements for combat really spoke to me and really showed me that they were trying to do something really ambitious here and make something truly special. And I think they got 99% of the way there. When I call it a game of what might have been, I call it that because there was so much more that was planned for the game that just fell apart when the studio that developed it dissolved. And that's a shame, because what could have been really something incredible and creative and magical is just gone to the wayside now. There were supposed to be special characters that were appearing, people like Juan from Guacamelee, Shantae, Shovel Knight, and unfortunately that didn't happen. However, the game itself is truly fun. That shouldn't distract you from the fact that it is a wonderful title that is a lot of fun to play and does something really creative with 2 genres that I haven't seen done terribly often. You should definitely check this one out. There's over 20 characters to unlock and add to your party, so there's a lot of variety in gameplay. The combat elements in the game are really creative, and it really encourages you to mix and match and discover different things about each character that you're going to enjoy. This game is normally $29.99, but right now, through June 25th of 2023, it's going to be on sale for $7.49. All right, legit, Annalyn might be my favorite game of the month. I've been really enjoying single-screen arcade games lately. I blame Donut Dodo for that new obsession, but it's a game that I looked at it and I was like, okay, this kind of looks like every other sort of single-screen platformer that I've ever played before from an arcade experience, and what I got was something entirely different. First off, I can play as Anton from Anton Ball if I unlock him, which is always going to be a win for me, but the gameplay is astonishingly varied, and it takes a really twitchy hand to be able to move your way through levels. Your entire goal for each level is to collect the coins. And as you collect the coins, you're also going to collect these red jewels that allow you to eliminate the snakes that are chasing you. And if you do, you're going to get bonuses and collect items kind of like Pac-Man. Different food items are going to appear. And the games are really fun. It's a really creative kind of take on Steeplechase, where you're just going through and you're collecting the different things from the mazes. And it's a really fun game. Now, things start to get a little bit different the further into the game you get. So in your first level, it's just running and jumping and collecting. But in the second stage, in the jungle stage, they toss in vine work like you had in Donkey Kong Jr. So the game gets progressively more difficult and progressively more enjoyable. And the more you play, the more stuff you're going to be able to unlock. It's a really enjoyable title. Really enjoying my time with it. And it's only $4.99. So it is a steal of a game.
There you have it, my friends. 10 Switch hidden gems you should be picking up on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now. I think there's something here for everybody. Everything from party games to hilarious stealth action to fantastic shmups. There's something here for everybody. Let me know in the comments down below what game looks best to you. Let me know any games you think I should be checking out on future editions. If you're interested in helping the channel grow in any particular way, you can join us over on Patreon or become a channel member here, or even give us super thanks. Every little bit is appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Until next time, I have been Jay. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.